Something that I think needs to be studied is what happens to the brain when you find out that you got cheated on, because bitch, I went fucking crazy. I went actually nuts. Okay, granted, backstory, I did get my wisdom teeth taken out that morning, and then I went home, took the medicine that they gave me, and then went to sleep. Woke up, checked his phone, found out I got cheated on. I whooped this man's ass outside, no panties on, from inside the house all the way outside the house, down the street. Then I stole his car. He followed me in my car. I crashed his car into a ditch. He was pissed. I got out his car, got back in my car, and I drove off. He's like, you just crashed my car into a fucking ditch. I was like, yeah. He was like, you just fucking left me here. My car's in a ditch and my phone's at 3. I can't even fucking tow it. I said, call that bitch to tow it. Call that bitch to tow it. What the fuck you want me to tell you? Like, I'm sorry. Okay, but that's not the only. I have some more stories. But yeah, I went genuinely insane every single time. So that needs to be studied.
So I just got home from work and my boyfriend's at the gym and he's been here all day. I've been gone all day since like 6 this morning. And I walk in the bathroom. Well, first you can see that I have purple acrylic nails and I get my nails done all the time. They're always acrylic. They need to be redone, but disregard. I walk in the bathroom and sure enough, I see this blue thing and I pick it up and I'm like, is this a nail? And it is. It's one of those cheap, like, Sheen nails. And it's not mine. So I have a feeling. I have that gut-wrenching feeling. And I've had this feeling for a couple weeks now. So I'm going to do some digging. Go girl detective mode. Girls, this is your sign to always go with your gut. After doing some digging. Sure enough, what do we have here? Guilty as charged.
Day in your life with your boyfriend from hell, part 3. I might as well say night, because it all happened that night. So one night, you're really tired and you're going to bed really early, probably like 10 p.m. And you're asking your boyfriend if he's going to sleep. He said no, he's going to stay up a little bit longer, play games, whatever. But then you wake up around 4 hours later with like a horrible, sinking gut feeling that something's up. And something was up. What a surprise. So then you check his location, which is something that you don't really do because you're still trying to trust him, right? Even though he disappointed you like multiple times. But something in your gut is telling you to check that location. So you check it and you find out that he's in your town and you two live in different cities, right? So you call him, but his phone is on D&D. And you can see that he's moving really quickly. So that means he's in a car with someone. So then you're starting to think like, oh, maybe he's with one of his friends, you know, trying not to overthink, still trying to give him the benefit of that, right? So you're trying to go to sleep, but you just cannot fall asleep. Like, the feeling in your gut is so strong, like, you cannot go to sleep. So you start to call him over and over again, and you're texting him, and then out of nowhere, he replies. He doesn't call you back, but he's texting you back. And all he said was, I'm with one of my mates. And mind you, usually he doesn't do that. He tells you the names straight away. So immediately you know he is with a girl. He is with a girl because who else can he be with, right? So then you're trying to get the name out of him. You're still trying to call him. He's not picking up. Then you check his location again and he is in a Tesco car park. And that's when he tells you that he is in a car with this girl that he works with. Mind you, we were like 18 at that time and she was already 23. And apparently she's teaching him how to drive. And she's letting him practice in her car in the middle of the night at like 2 a.m. So then you already know that you're basically getting cheated on, right? But you're just staying a little bit more delusional at that time. So then 2 days later, you go to his house and when he falls asleep, you check his phone and all the messages between him and that girl are removed. And then you still stay with him for like another year.
Story time on how one of my ex-boyfriends posted my nudes on my Snapchat story. So this story takes place when I was 17 years old. It was the summer right before my senior year. It was literally like 2 weeks before I started school. And I was sitting in the car with my ex-boyfriend and he was like, let me see your phone. And so I was like, Yeah, okay. And so I give him my phone because like I don't care. There's nothing on there, nothing that you haven't seen. And so I'm just sitting there, listening to music, just kind of chilling. Next thing I fucking know, he like looks at me and he's like, "Ava, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "What are you sorry for? What's happening?" And he shows me my phone. That post was up for probably like 3 minutes and it had already hit like 800 views on that shit. And I was getting phone calls from people like on Snapchat. I was getting phone calls from my cousin, like fucking everyone. And so I immediately deleted and I'm like looking at these text messages of like people who saw it. I'm like, oh my fucking God. And I was so mad. I was like, dude, literally, why why did you do that? What the fuck is wrong with you? And he was just like, I didn't mean to. I tried to send it to myself. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? You've already seen this picture. You're the only person who sees this shit. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my fucking God. Like, how do you know how many fucking steps you have to take? You have to take to fucking post that shit there. It's not that hard to send it to yourself. And then after you realize you put it on my story, you fucking left it there. Like, oh my God. So anyways, I was so fucking pissed. I got out of the car and I went the fuck home. I couldn't do that. I was so fucking livid. And next thing I know, I'm getting a call from my cousin. And she's like asking me if I'm okay or whatever. And I'm like, it's fine. It's whatever. Like, this is normal. It's fine. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's whatever. I can't do anything about it, and girls do this shit, so it's honestly fine. Like, I was trying to kind of brush it off and make it less serious than what it was. I was basically gaslighting myself, okay? Tell me why, dude. Not only did my fucking cousin see it, my aunt saw it, my grandfather saw it, my grandmother saw it, and then my aunt went ahead and took it upon herself to send it to my fucking parents. No, she couldn't just tell them that I had posted. No, she had to send it to my fucking parents. I was so livid. And this bitch's excuse, I do not like this aunt. I don't give a fuck. This bitch's excuse was that she was looking out for me and for my safety. Bitch, you're all the way across the fucking country. Shut the fuck up. You know how fucking awkward that conversation was with my parents? My parents did not need to see that shit. It was like, it was like a full body nude, okay? Like, it was like a picture of me, like, in the mirror, like, you could see my face. It was clearly me, okay? That shit was so fucking horrific. And I have never taken a nude since. I don't have any on my phone. Like, it was so fucking traumatizing that, like, I can never do anything like that ever again. Like, and honestly, like, when I went to school, I didn't really, like, have anybody come up or, like, say anything about it. But I did have multiple group chats made, and they would put me in it, and they would ask me to send them photos. And it would be, like, guys from other schools. Like, they wouldn't even be at my fucking school. And it was just, like... And one of my guy friends that I had was in one of the fucking group chats. Like, he did not need to see... Oh, my God. So basically, moral of the story is don't let your boyfriend go through your fucking phone because there is a slight possibility that he will post it on your Snapchat story.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a haul of stuff that I got for my ex-boyfriend for his birthday. So yeah. Also, before I start this video, I forever love my ex and they'll forever be my baby because I don't want like people to get mixed up like, oh, I hate him stuff. No, that's not all. I love my ex so much and I wish nothing but the best for him, and I hope that God brings us back together, you know. Okay, so I got him more stuff too. It's just like he already has the stuff I already got him and I want him to keep that stuff. Like hold on. Okay, so the first thing I made or got him was for Valentine's because it was his birthday and his Valentine's present at the same time. So I got him this little dog. I know it's like girly, but like, you know, it says love you on it. And so I just thought it was really cute and it's super soft. So another thing I had was this little Batman thing because his favorite you know, superhero, whatever it's called, is Batman. So I got him a tiny one. Then he
he like loves Vaseline, so I'm like always losing his Vaseline. So I got him a pack of Vaselines and everything, and they're all different flavors. So, and then the thing I got him was this bracelet. Like, I don't know what kind of bracelet it is, but it's like you know, it was cute, and I thought like I should get it for him. Okay, now moving on to things that I made for him. I made a letter, but I don't know how to do it. I made this thing for him. I wasn't finished with it because we broke up. But his favorite, there's stuff missing because it fell off. But I asked him what his favorite football team was, and he said Lions. So I made his Lions football, and then on the other side was like both of our initials and stuff. And yeah, I'm just like. I also got him his favorite candy, but I just gave it to my younger brothers because like we broke up and like you know. Okay, the last thing I made him. This one took like I stayed up all night like making this because so he likes Clash Royale a lot and like he spent so much money on it and stuff and like I remember I downloaded Clash Royale for us to play together, but I made him this Clash Royale basket and everything. It's low-key broken in the back because I low-key messed it up and inside of it. I was gonna like what I was gonna do is I was gonna get like his favorite two balls or whatever they're called, and I was gonna stick them on here and then put photos of us. Yeah. I also print out like tiny little photos of us. Let me see. So I print out tiny little photos of us. I was gonna put in the basket. So this was me. The first time we ever hung out. This was, I'm not gonna blur his face, but this is my cousin, me, and then him. And then this is us at Bella's house. His first time coming over. And then his dog. And then this is us too. And more of my little stuff. So, and then the things I got him that he had, because I get this gift and I just hope that like whatever he has, he just thinks of me, but I got him like a 7-foot like Clash Royale blanket where where you put like a photo of something on a blanket, like you know what I mean. And then I got him this monkey and stuff, and then like I got him his favorite chips. And the last thing I got him was where my curls messed up was his I got him his favorite anime, like I got a shirt of his favorite anime and stuff. So yeah, but that's all I got him. I was gonna get him more stuff, but we broke up before, like yeah. But I really hope that God has a plan for us in the future and it brings us back together and brings us stronger than before, but that's all. I just wanted to do a haul because I don't know.
Story time of how I found out that my boyfriend of 2 years was cheating on me with his coworker. So during that time, we were living together, and we had mutual friends. So he was working at this pizza place, and one of my good girlfriends at the time, her boyfriend was friends with a bunch of the people that he was working with. So one day she messages me and she's like, "Hey, are you and Arzen still dating?" I was like, "Yeah, we're definitely still together. Why?" And she goes, "Oh, like my man just told me that he has been hooking up with Amanda." And Amanda is a girl that he was obviously working with during that time. So I was like, holy shit, there's no fucking way. Like, we had been together for 2 years. Like, I'm talking first love. Like, I was his first everything. And my Arzen would never do that to me is what I, was going through my head. But also I'm like, I was kind of a crazy, jealous girl. So obviously hearing that was, so I confronted him about it, and he basically told me, like, no, you're crazy. Like, I would never do that to you. Obviously, you're just going through a lot in life, and that's why you're crazy enough to think that I would ever do that to you. And my brain was just like, okay, maybe he's right, but also nothing
inside me feels good right now. Like something feels off. I know he's lying to me. I just can't prove it. It's a he said, she said situation. And I remembered it was just eating me up inside. I kept asking him. He kept denying it. And I was like, okay, like, I don't know how to calm this voice inside my head. And I just like prayed about it. I remembered he was taking a nap on our bed. Like he was sleeping on the bed and I was on the floor with my back against the bed. And I remembered praying to God. I was like, please, like, I just need an answer. Like, I need something to, like, shut down all of this anxiety that's inside me trying to figure out what the truth is. And right after I asked that, my boyfriend's phone fell, like, right next to me, unlocked. He was sleeping. I guess he had been holding his phone, and then he fell asleep, and then it fell, and he forgot to lock it. So I snatched that shit up and I went to the bathroom, and the first text that I saw was a message that he sent to Amanda's best friend who he also works with. And it was something along the lines of like, oh, Lexi almost found out that I've been fucking Amanda. And I screenshotted that shit and sent it to myself. And every single time I tell that story, everyone's always like, oh my God, like God was looking out for you. He answered your prayers. And that's exactly what happened. I will say I was like 17 or 18 during that time. So it wasn't the healthiest. It wasn't the healthiest relationship. I was not a healthy person. Not that it condones cheating, but I understand why he was unhappy. But moral of the story is that you just gotta pray about it and trust your intuition and your gut and then learn from it. But there it is.
Storytime on how I found out my ex-boyfriend that I was living with cheated on me. So here is the first red flag. We literally were only dating for a month and then we moved into an apartment together at the ripe age of 19 years old. I was head over heels in love with him. Literally, I thought I was gonna marry him, thought I was gonna spend the rest of my life with him. I literally, like, you can ask all of my friends, they all literally could see that I was so deeply in love with this man. Now fast forward, I went on a trip with my family for Christmas and New Year, so I was gone for 2 fucking weeks, bruh. The second I left to go on this trip, he completely stopped talking to me. He would send me maybe like 2-3 texts throughout the entire day and that was it. He would not call me. He was literally just ignoring me. Now I had his location on Life 360, so I don't really know what the fuck he was thinking, but I would literally cry and have like horrific anxiety attacks every single night because guys, our intuition is so fucking real. I literally had this gut feeling that he was cheating on me and I was fully trying to convince myself that he was not doing that. I literally made a fucking journal that's like 5 pages long and all it says in all caps is, he is not cheating on you. Girl, that is fucking sad. So right now we're in 2023 December, okay? It is New Year's Eve, bitch. We're about to go into the new motherfucking year, right? And I'm sitting here and he's like, I'll call you. I'm gonna go over to my friend's house and we're gonna play video games and I'm gonna celebrate the new year that way. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But then I literally see his location and he's going over to the bar. Mind you, while we were together, he would not let me go to the bar. I know that sounds fucking crazy. I let a man tell me what I can and can't do. It's pathetic, I know. But because of that, he was like, I won't go to the bar because I won't let you go. So when I saw that he was going over to the bar, I was like, what the fuck? So I'm blowing up his phone. Now I'm not proud of this. I called this motherfucker 50 fucking times. I called him 50 times. He did not answer a single one. In fact, he literally started declining my calls. And I was like, oh. And so prior to this, there was this girl that was a little fucking weird. And I basically asked him to like get his shit figured out with her and he blocked her on everything. Well, I saw that she was literally at the same bar as in that fucking night. I am not a dumbass. And then at the end of the night, I see him driving home and he stays at our place. Well, the next morning I get a text from him and he's like, sorry, babe, I fell asleep on my friend's couch. Bitch, I literally had a screenshot of his fucking location showing that he slept at the house and I was like, then what the fuck is this? Then he called me that night and was talking about I don't think we should be together. I'm just so unhappy with you. I literally sat there, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie. I begged. I'm not proud of it. I should have let him walk the fuck away. But I begged, he took me back, and everything was all good and jolly while I was on this trip, but I knew something fucking happened that night. So I come back home about a week later, and I go through his phone, and I literally see that he added a bunch of random ass women on his fucking Snapchat list, bro. What the fuck? Prior to this, he literally was talking to 0 bitches. That man's phone was so motherfucking dry. And his best friends list now was filled with women. I took a picture of every single one of those girls' Snapchats. I added it later on, but that's for a different story, y'all. You would think that I'd find something there. No, I go to his Instagram and I see DMs. Bro, he literally tried to take this girl out on a fucking date. She had a boyfriend. And she rejected him. That shit was funny as fuck. I was like, I don't even know if I can fucking be mad about this because you got rejected. Then I went to his messages and saw that he was trying to hang out with this other girl that he had done things with before, and she just never responded to any of his messages. I was like, okay, what the fuck? That same night, we're sitting on the couch, okay? We're watching a little movie together. All of a sudden, he starts getting a FaceTime from the girl that I had a problem with that he blocked and was at the bar the same night. It wasn't just a phone call, it was a FaceTime, bitch. I pick up the phone, I go to answer, he gorilla grips his fucking phone out of my hand. I was like, oh, I didn't know you were that strong. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, bitch, I already fucking knew. I already knew what happened. And I'm like, answer the phone. He's like, no, I'm not gonna answer the phone. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I was like, let me see the messages. Y'all, he literally deleted the fucking messages and he handed me his phone. And on iMessage, you literally can click on the recently deleted, and he saw that I was going there, and then he snatched his phone on my hand again. I was like, oh, hell no. I went to the bathroom to go take a shower. I'm butt ass fucking naked. And he comes into the bathroom and he looks at me and he's like, Eva, I just have to let you know that I cheated on you while you were gone. I literally tell you, bitch, I looked at him with nothing but utter fucking disgust. I already knew that shit. I did not need him to fucking tell me. I literally was profusely sobbing in this fucking bathroom, y'all. That shower, it was just tears, bitch. Now, I'm not proud of this one, but after I found out and I got done taking a shower, I called my dad and he basically told me that it's not cheating. I went back into the room and we hooked up. Not proud of it, but about a month later, I fucking broke up with him. And then I moved back home. And that is another story time in itself because my parents kicked me out and I was homeless. But yeah, that's the story time on how I found my ex-boyfriend cheating on me the first time.
A year ago today, I got engaged and later found out he cheated on me the same day he proposed. So I thought we would reflect on February 21st together on how crazy that is. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's really not funny. It was really traumatizing. Like this morning, I woke up not sad because of him. There's no reason I would ever want to be with someone like that, but more so just like weighing on me the grief of when I believed people were inherently good. I went through 23 years of life believing in the good of people always as the default, and I feel like in the last year, one of my biggest takeaways has been there are some evil people out there. There are fake people, there are liars, and I just hadn't run into that, and that's a privilege. I hadn't run into that for 23 years. So anyway, let's just ramble, let's just get into it. So a year ago today, we were living in Orange County in this cute little apartment. He was training there, and I just remember waking up and feeling those excited jitters. I was 90% sure that he was gonna propose this day. There were so many hints swirling around, and I just remember feeling like a little girl. Growing up as a girl, I feel maybe this is part of the patriarchy, I don't know. I always just pictured a beautiful setting, music, flowers, and I don't know, you think about this moment, it's a big first, it's a big step in life, it's a milestone. So I just remember feeling that giddy, oh my gosh, is my life gonna take this next step in this direction? I love this guy, I'm so excited about this. I don't know, I just remember feeling like, wow, this is gonna be a really big day. Woke up together, spent the morning together. We ended up going to this reptile zoo, which is right up my alley. He had flown out his hairstylist and her son, so we went the 4 of us, and it was so much fun. Came back to our apartment and started getting ready. I'm getting a little bit more nervous. I'm like, is this really happening? Putting on this white dress that the photographer had picked out for me. Shout out Sydney. We're going to a photo shoot. I should say that. That's what I thought was happening. We arrived to this beautiful venue in the hills, and I remember walking down this driveway and I hear music and I see this gorgeous floral setup right out of my dreams that I had as a child. He gets down on one knee, he puts the ring on my finger. I just remember saying, oh, my cheeks hurt so much from smiling. I was so happy. I remember just looking back and being like, this is gonna be one of the happiest days of my life. And we ended up going to the beach after, did a little beach photo shoot. The pictures were gorgeous, and ended up going to our engagement dinner, got a little sushi, and headed back to our apartment. Now, knowing what I know now, this was his timeline for the day. So he woke up and he texted his ex-girlfriend and texted her this. It's gross, so I wouldn't say those words. then proceeded to go through the same day I did, and he gets down on one knee, he proposes, we commit to each other for the rest of our lives, marriage, crazy concept. We go to our engagement dinner, I just said all these things. Then we get home from our engagement dinner, and then he texts her this. And for some reason, you cheat before and after you propose, the morning of and the night. That's just something I will never understand. I've given up on trying to understand how someone can be that evil. I think you just have to be a sociopath, and that's just it at the end of the day. But in that video I posted back in May, one of the last things I said was, if I can make one woman feel seen, heard, or understood, or aid in a journey of healing, then I've accomplished what I set out to do. I got such an overwhelmingly positive response on that video, and I had so many women reaching out to me for doing exactly that, and that's really special to me. That's why when people are like, stop talking about this, get over it, I'm like, now that I do have a platform and I have women that look to me in a way as someone that's gone through something like this really bad, and a lot of them I've had personal conversations with, and we've bonded over things like this. I don't want to stop talking about these issues, and if I had to have the devil in disguise as a fiance and I had to go through that, then let me utilize the blueprint of a bad, shitty man to promote conversations about healing and create a community of women. That is what I want to do. That's what I would want this platform to be about, stingrays and healing. But anyway, I just think all of that is to say, men ain't shit. I'm just kidding. No, really. I think it's all about community. It's all about coming together. This is just one little example of, there's a lot to say about that man, and the story will come out eventually. This was just me reflecting on 1 year ago today. But yeah, if I can make one person feel seen, heard, or understood, then I've accomplished my purpose, and that is why I'm here sharing this today. Don't you dare try to silence me again. So, I do love you guys. Bye.
Okay, I'm about to tell you about this because it's just irritating me. So earlier, right, I get a phone call from my homeboy and he's saying that he came in town, whoop whoop, and for me to let him know when I get home because he wanted to stop by and see me before he left. Okay, cool, right? But I told him I'm not home right now. Y'all, where I was is a good hour, 30 minutes away from where I live, right? And I have been there since Sunday, correct? Monday, we're on Monday, right? So I'm like, but I'll let you know when I get home. I asked him, I said, when are you leaving? He said, probably tomorrow. He said, matter of fact, no, probably tonight because I like driving at night. Okay, cool. But mind you, I was still somewhere, right? It's just, if I just so happened to make it home by the time he was still here, I was going to let him know. Regardless, I was still going to let him know. But if it was too late, it was too late. But like, you get what I'm saying? It's not like we had any plans. It was just like a casual, want to see you before I leave. Okay, cool. When I get back home, I'm gonna let you know. So he said, all right, yeah, just, either he said text or call or whatever. And I was still where I was at around like 8 something. And he texted me because he was like, if I don't hear from you later on today, then you're cut off or whatever. And I was like, no, like, I'm gonna hit you up, right? He texted me around 8 something. He said, yep, you're done. And I said, let me go to the message. I said, because this is so mind boggling. I don't know what the fuck the problem is. I said, I'm not home. I'm all the way in where I was. And I said, relax. He said, talk to you later. Bye. And then, but honestly, I was on my way out the door leaving. And I said, I'm on the way home now, though, at 8:49 p.m. Mind y'all, a good hour 30 to get back. I think my ETA said like 10:21 or whatever. And the thing about it is, it's never no issue. Like, if you're still here when I get here, stop by, quick, hey, whatever. And it just is what it is. You can go about your way. If you have already left to go back home, by the time I got here, then it just is what it is. We just missed each other. Like, but was I going to stop my plan, stop my day to come from where I was to come back here and then go? Like, no, it wasn't what it was. We did not have any plans. This was just like a casual type of thing. So then he said, bye, Tyler. I said, what the F are you talking about? I've been told you I wasn't home. He said, okay, bye. And this is the thing, like, I have this issue with him, like, having this, like, weird attitudes out of nowhere. Like, I'm kind of confused, genuinely confused. And I said, I've been here since yesterday. You said, let you know when I'm home. So what is the issue? He said, talk to you later. Mind you, he's not typing it out. He's saying TTYL. And I said, all right, yo. And then he said the same thing back. He said, I'm not kissing nobody ass to see them. Like, y'all, I'm so confused. I'm just, like, I was so confused with it. Like, what? I'm, like, so confused. Then he texted me and said, because I was on live. I was on TikTok live. Mind you, I'm not dropping no names or anything like that. But I feel like it's something on my brain, like mind-boggling. I just, I gotta let it out. Gotta vent a little bit. So he joined the live. He gonna text me and say, "You're weird as a bitch. I'm never talk to you again." So I hearted the message and I said, "I don't need bad energy around me anyways. God bless." And then I just blocked him because y'all, I'm so confused. Like, mind you, has a whole girlfriend. And you're upset because I wasn't back in a timely manner for what? We didn't have any plans. I'm confused. You just said you wanted to stop by and see me. You was calling to see if I was home, and I wasn't home. I was not home. But does that mean I'm stopping my whole day? No, I wasn't home and I wasn't anywhere close to home. So what are we talking about? Like, I'm just so confused. And this is why it's hard to have male friends, like, being honest, because they overstep so many times. Like, the way that you're talking to me, for one, is so disrespectful. Like, okay, bye. Talk to you later. Like, sorry, I don't know who pissed in your cereal. Like, damn.
Watch me play with slime while I tell you guys things my ex did and I still stay. I know when people post these, boyfriends are evil. Mine wasn't that bad, but there's still some things that didn't have to happen. First off, he wouldn't let me watch Euphoria. And I understand that like Euphoria isn't like the best thing to be watching because it is like, there's a lot of, stuff in it. But baby, I watched that when I was like 14, like when it was a thing and when we put glitter on our face. Like, I've watched it before. I was like, we can watch it together so it's like less like weird, I guess. He's like, no, I don't want to be looking at that stuff. Like, the next thing is I went on his phone to play like a game or whatever, watch TikTok, whatever I was doing on his phone. And the first thing I see when I put the password in, like my face ID in, was him like stalking other women. And I was like, oh, so what is this? And I go back and I see that he was stalking the soccer team, that like his school's soccer team. Mind you, he plays soccer at his college, so it's like, but like this is the women's team he was talking. And I was like, oh, so like you're stalking the women's team. And he was like, no, I wasn't. And I was like, I literally have it right in front of my face. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no, like I promise, like, Kenzie, just stop making a big deal. What? Not you gaslighting me. Not you gaslighting me. And I was like, no, I fear I'm gonna make this a problem. Because what are you doing? Like, why are we stalking? Why are we stalking? I was like, so you're stalking the women's page? He's like, Kenzie, no, I'm not stalking. Like, I just went in a rabbit hole. I was like, so stalking. And I was like, oh, so you clicked on their profile, you went on the women's page and like scrolled through it and then like looked at their pages and looked at the individual profiles of each person on there. He's like, yeah, but Kenzie, like, I promise you, like, I don't care about them. Like, I was just curious for what? Like, you're gonna cheat on me or what? Because mind you, I'm still in high school and he's in college, so like, I was like, oh, so you're wanting a backup plan? He's like, no, I promise, like, Kenzie, I meant nothing. Like, you don't see me stalking my school's football team or basketball team or for the, like, no, not when we're together, no. So I was just like, okay. And he like cried his way out of it and I stayed, so I was not standing on business. No, thank you. Next thing happened, this is like when we first started like dating, first started like talking-ish. No, we were dating. The first time we were ever dating was like 3 years ago. But like, who cares? Should have known this from the start, like should have seen the red flag. He, how we don't, okay, so he had this girl second on his best friends list. Mind you, I was first and I was like, okay, who's this girl? Who's, mind you, I'm not the controlling, insecure, jealousy type. Like, maybe a little bit, but I'm not controlling, I feel like when you're first dating somebody or like when you're dating, you should not have a girl second on your best friends list. It's kind of like a little bit weird. And I was like, so who is this girl? Like, I'm like, why is she second on your best friends list? He's like, why do you care? Well, we're dating and, you have a girl second on your best friends list. Like, I'm just wondering, And he was like, she had cancer and I was helping her out. Were you the chemotherapy or am I missing something? Because girl, what? Helping her do what? She has the treatment already. Like, she doesn't need you. Like, I understand getting someone through it, like, being there for them. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, because I was so innocent our first time dating, I was like, okay, like, whatever. I guess that was excuse for snapping her. Because she had cancer a long time ago. Way before they started snapping. Like, okay. So, got over that one. Then he unadded her and whatever, but I was just like, whatever. Baby boo. Anyways, this video is a freaking mess, but I think it's honestly hilarious. He would lie and manipulate me and feel very bad for not changing whenever I type out paragraphs for him changing. And so I would find him getting me like just because baskets or random gifts to make up for it so that I completely forget about the bullshit and disrespect that I took. So if you guys are wondering, he did buy me a lot of shit. Most of it is because like he was just like being a good boyfriend, like just getting me stuff because like, you know, princess treatment. But like a lot of stuff that he would get me is because of like him being sorry, and that's his way of being sorry. So, you know, I just stayed because, you know, you would change, right? Yeah. So basically when we broke up, he like got with this girl and he wasn't gonna tell me until I found out. Mind you, we were broken up, like it's not the biggest deal, but like, mind you, like I feel like when you guys get back together after being broken up for a few months, you should tell each other what happened. This might be controversial, but like he just didn't tell me, so I found out through my friends. Mind you, that entire time he was having, you know what, with another girl, I was crying over him while he was, you know. I was just like, great. That time I was like trying my best to get over him, crying myself to sleep, everything. Trying my best not to talk to him. He was being a jerk to me because like we broke up and everything. I was just like, oh no. So yeah, he got with another girl and he was never going to tell me. It hurt even more because I found out from my friends. Because I would never have found out if it wasn't for my friends. And I feel like you should tell me that. Because like, and he was like, I'm so sorry. Like, well, mind you, we were broken up, so this might be controversial. But like still, like, it was like right after a breakup, you get with someone else, like, over, you know. And we were like for lifers, so it was like, you should tell me that, you know. And he wasn't sorry till I found out. So it's just like, thank you. It's just like, I hate those people that are not sorry until you find out stuff. Like, if I never would have found out, like, I never would have found out, like, really. And I was low-key a bitch to the girl, but like, and I feel bad, but like, I was just in my very mad era about it. And, you know, he didn't make up for it. He told me he himself and got me flowers. So I stayed with him. Yes. Guys, mind you, I'm 2 years younger than him. I was young, innocent, and just wanted someone to love me. So yeah, that's what I can think of right now. I know there's way more stuff that he would just lie about, and he'd be like, it's just too much. Hopefully no one sees this, and I know, because, you know. Anyways, guys, that consists of my video. My hands hurt from playing with the slime, but like, I got a slime from Five Below. It's cloud slime, so. Anyways, guys, bye! Hopefully your guys' day is going great. Mine's going great. I'm so glad I got off that. Like, he broke, I'm up. Bye.
Story time on how my ex cheated on me on his family vacation to Florida, started dating her 2 days later, and now they're engaged. I already know the whole hometown has probably been waiting for this story because once this happened to me, everyone knew it obviously happened because, hello, they started dating 2 days later and they just all knew. But I never once spoke about it because I was so embarrassed. I was not embarrassed that I got cheated on because, ladies, getting cheated on is not embarrassing for you. It's embarrassing for the man because at the end of the day, they're the ones that fumbled. Okay? I was so embarrassed because this happened to me now for the third time with the same girl. Yes, I'm talking, she was a slut. And I know I can't say this word out loud, so I'm gonna have to cut that. But starting off, we're gonna call her S, and we're gonna call my ex X. So yes, as some background information, that we were a whole friend group. So my best friend was dating his best friend, and then there was just a few others of us. But that's just the main thing. But yeah, so it was perfect. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because I went to prom with my best friend, and me and X were hitting it off a few days before prom, but prom is where we really hit it off because, again, like, I don't know when me and this man started dating, but I just know it was sometime after prom. Well, long and behold, at prom, I see S walk up to X. Then his friend told me, was like, yeah, just so you know, like, they have hooked up. And it was like 3 weeks ago. Oh my God. First of all, I wasn't even surprised because she was a walking STD, and I know that she's been with almost every guy at the school, whether whatever grade they were in. She was always a part of it because that's just the kind of person she was. So wasn't even surprised, but whatever. I was like, oh hell no, I want nothing to do with X because I'm not trying to catch nothing. So whatever, that obviously didn't stick. Me and him start dating. But what I do know is 3 weeks into dating this man, I find out from his friend, oh, did X tell you that he's going on vacation with S? Wait, come again? So long and behold, he didn't want to tell me because he already knew how I felt about her. So he didn't want to tell me because he already knew what the fuck was going to happen. So whatever. I end up finding out from the friend, so then I'm texting him. I'm like, you have some explaining to do. And now, no, guys, he was not going one-on-one vacation. Basically, ex's cousin, absolute best friends. Absolute. I'm talking damn near sisters with S. Mind you, I don't like the friend either, because mind you, one of the times, and they probably don't even know this to this day that I ever found out about this, but I did. S was home wrecking one of my relationships, was at the cousin's house in the bathroom. She was on the bathroom floor with my ex while her friend was with my ex's best friend in her bed. I don't care. You didn't personally home wreck my relationship, but you're just as bad. You're fucking gross. Should have been like red flag number 1 for me. Every time I would try to bring up like, I know you're gonna cheat on me, which yes, maybe I did manifest this, which is where I learned from my high school mistakes. Obviously, you have to live and learn from horrible things that happen to you, but I learned you gotta give yourself time to heal. I'm talking, I literally started dating this man like 5 months after I found out my ex had a second phone. This man had a second phone. I'm talking, I found so many girls in that second phone that I was getting cheated on, more than 2 hands. Okay, we just got to put it out there. So obviously I opened up to X about this, which was my mistake, because he used that second phone tactic to actually cheat on me in Florida, which we're going to get into that in a second. But again, so this man cried to me drunk, cried to his mom, cried to his friends about how he would never want to hurt me because I'm so beautiful and I don't deserve the pain that I've gone through and blah, 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 blah. Put it on his dead dad's grave. He would not cheat on me. Oh my God. Do you not give a flying fuck about your family, bro? So all that stuff happened. So of course I'm getting all this reassurance. I'm feeling a little bit better. Well, then S goes up to one of my friends in the high school bathroom and is like, please tell Kylie, like, nothing is gonna happen with X. Nothing is gonna happen with X. Like, I know she's probably worried. So my friend's like, you need to tell her that yourself. And obviously I have this girl blocked on everything. Literally everything. I'm talking, I literally think I had her blocked on school email too. That's how serious this shit was, because I want nothing to literally do with you. Like, when I don't like someone, you will not have access to my life unless you take the time out of your day to make a second account to see my stuff, or you take the time out of your day to search it up on like one of your friends' phones that's not blocked. It's getting in the way. So again, she literally had no access to my life. So I ended up unblocking her off of Snapchat. She texted me. She's like, I'm so sorry with what happened with, your previous situations that I home wrecked. She didn't necessarily say that, but she basically was just like, I'm sorry for everything. Like, nothing's gonna happen. So it got to the point where I was just so like insecure about this trip that he just wasn't even gonna go. He was like, I'm not gonna go, or you can come with. I'm like, I don't want to be in a room with S and the friend. I quite frankly don't want to. Plus I work, and why the fuck would I ever choose a man over money? You got me. You gotta be kidding me if you think I'm ever going to choose a man over money. So I was like, no. And then I was like, I'm not gonna have you miss out on your vacation because of my insecurities. Like, no, girl, just go. Like, I already went into this trip knowing I was gonna get cheated on. So I think that's why I just simply just didn't A, talk about it, or B, just like didn't really care. But we'll get into that. Oh, because I did care I got cheated on, but you'll see what I mean. Basically, here comes the trip. I was a team member at the time. I was opening up saute. So I'm talking, I was cutting veggies. I was doing stuff like that. This was before open. I have both my AirPods in. He calls me while he's at the airport. I'm talking, I could hear S so loud in the AirPods. I don't know if it's AirPods that just make everything louder, but I'm talking, I could hear her louder than anyone else in the airport. I'm talking, I couldn't even hear the mom this loud, the sister this loud, the brother this loud. I couldn't hear nobody this loud, bro. So I'm immediately like, why is she so loud? I'm instantly tweaking. Oh my God. So that's like, okay, my phone's like overheating and this video is getting way too long. So I'm gonna make a part 2 when my phone cools down, and just because this video is also getting really long. So yeah.
Hola a todos. Bueno, se viene Storytime de cuando yo estaba piradísima de la cabeza. Muy pirada de la cabeza. O sea, ahora soy un poquito loca. Puede ser que sí, no lo vamos a negar. Pero en ese momento, chicos, yo demente. Bueno, esto fue aproximadamente 2016, 2017, hasta 2019 se podría decir, yo estaba pirada. Fueron varios, fue una banda. fue una banda de tiempo que yo estaba re loca, pero porque me enloqueció un varón. Pero bueno, sin ir más lejos. Cuestión, yo me puse de novio con este tipo, me recagaba, él hacía lo que se le cantaba el culo. Entonces, claro, yo al principio era re pelotuda. Yo se las iba perdonando, pero cada vez me volvía más loca. O sea, yo le perdonaba todo, pero cada vez me volvía más estúpida. Cuestión, resulta que una vuelta, a mis amigas les encanta que yo cuente esta historia, les fascina. Una vuelta, después de tantas veces que yo lo perdoné, el chabón me había jurado por su madre, por su padre, por todos los seres vivos que tenía en la tierra, que él había cambiado, que era otra persona, que me amaba, que íbamos a estar juntos toda la vida. Bueno, resulta que él sale, se va a la fiesta de disfraces de Paraná, sale con todos los amigos, Yo a todo esto, como que claro, yo ansiosa, porque yo decía, ay, me debe estar cagando con la dita, con la diablita, con la angelita. Pero bueno, yo trataba de confiar porque, bueno, supuestamente esta vez iba a ser todo diferente. Cuestión, en esa fiesta roba o pierde el celular. Cagó ahí, perdió el celular, se lo robaron, nunca lo sabremos. Pero bueno, él vuelve de esa fiesta y me pide a mí, tipo como estábamos de novios, me dice, che, ¿puedo abrir mis redes sociales en tu celu? Porque nada, no tengo celular hasta que me pueda comprar otro. Nada, entro de ahí. Entonces, ¿qué piensa una cuando el novio tiene todas sus redes sociales abiertas en su celular? Dice, bueno, este chabón realmente ya no me caga más. O sea, porque, a ver, no puede ser tan pelotudo de estar hablándote con una mina y tener Instagram abierto en mi celular. Bueno, escuchen. Era una noche que me empiezan a llegar notificaciones del Instagram de él. Y como yo veía que las notificaciones eran del amigo, yo como que las pasaba. Aparte yo no había entrado a su Instagram, porque nada. Yo dije, a ver, tiene su Instagram abierto, no va a ser tan boludo. Entonces yo no le revisé nada, realmente. Aparte habíamos entrado en esa etapa de no, confiamos. Entonces yo tipo, bueno. Y le llegaban muchas notificaciones de su amigo. Y se ve que yo en una vi una notificación media rara de su amigo. Un poco extraña. Y entré. Chicas, entré. Resulta que el muy hijo de su madre estaba arreglando para verse con una chabona por medio del amigo. ¿Entienden? O sea, claro, el chabón habrá dicho, si a Micaela le llegan notificaciones de una mina, va a entrar, va a ver todo, se pica todo, pero si le llegan notificaciones de que estoy hablando con mi amigo, no va a entrar a Instagram a ver. Esta no voy a entrar. Entré a Instagram y empecé a leer todo. Chicos, como que el chabón le decía al amigo lo que le tenía que poner a la mina, el amigo se lo mandaba a la mina respondía y se lo mandaba a él. O sea, era el intermediario, ¿entienden? O sea, qué ganas que tenías de cagarme. Qué ganas. Era una cosa, él se las ingeniaba, no importa cómo. Cuestión como que estaba arreglando para que la mina vaya a la casa, tipo en ese momento. Y yo estaba leyendo todo en vivo, chicos. En vivo. ¿Qué hago? Como mi casa y la casa de él quedaban a pocas cuadras, ponele 6 cuadras, me calzo y arranco a correr. Yo dije, a este lo agarro con las manos en la masa. Cuestión, yo me conocía toda su casa, básicamente vivía ahí. Entonces, yo me sabía todos los truquitos, todo. Sabía cómo destrabar el portón, todo. Bueno, listo. Entré por el portón, entro, pegó la vuelta. Y claro, todo esto, chicos, era de noche. Yo no estaba hablando con él. El chabón ni se esperaba esa situación. Agarro así, él tiene tenía esas persianas que se levantan así. Bueno, cuestión, agarro yo, loca, esquizofrénica, después de haber corrido 6 cuadras sin parar, como una demente. Le agarro la ventana, chicos, de abajo, le hago ¡pa! Le tiro la ventana para arriba. Y claro, ustedes no se pueden imaginar el salto que pegó el chabón. Tipo, dijo, no sé, me entran a robar, no sé. Pero no, era peor, era yo. Y yo le daba más miedo que cualquier chorro en la faz de la tierra. El chabón, chicos, me vio a mí y era preferible. Yo creo que el loco dijo, prefiero que sea el diablo. O sea, yo era literalmente un exorcista. Mi cara estaba... Así que nada, entré por la ventana y obviamente ahí arranqué a decirle qué mierda estás haciendo, que estás hablando para verte con una, que pin, que pan, que esto, que lo otro. Y el loco, chicos, asustadísimo. O sea, no se imaginan la cara de pánico. Él todavía no caía que una persona había entrado por el garage de su casa, abierto una puerta, después la ventana así. Era una banda, o sea, había que procesar todo eso, ¿no? Entonces, claro, el loco como que no caía todavía. Y yo ya estaba, que no, que quién es, que esto, que lo otro. Y empieza, no, amor, ¿qué flasheás? Estoy hablando con mi amigo, no sé, Pepito. Y yo tipo, bueno, ¿estás hablando con Pepito? Mostrame la conversación con Pepito. Y ahí, peor, más pálido. O sea, pálido y me dice, no, gorda, pará, te voy a contar todo. Así que nada, ustedes imagínense la situación de estar acostados en la cama de noche y que de la ventana del patio te la abran así y nada. Como les digo, él hubiera preferido que sea un chorro, un sicario. No, era yo, era la maldita loca. Y nada, esa creo que fue la vez que más loca estuve. Pero bueno, ¿qué iba a hacer? Después seguí con él, le perdoné todo, yo le perdoné todo, hasta que me dejó él a mí, chicos. Porque así son los desgraciados de esto. Claro, yo estaba loca, me enloqueció. Pero bueno, historias como estas, con él, un montón.
Okay, so here is a comprehensive list of all the things that my ex-wife did, and I still stayed. If you came from my story time about how she cheated on me with my hairstylist, here you go, some more tea. Let's see, starting off strong, she lied about how old she was on a dating app. So we matched on Tinder. It said that she was 29. I was 22 at the time. I like older women. And after 2 weeks of us seeing each other, she said, hey, I'm actually 31. I put my age as 29 because I was afraid I might be too old for some people who cap their age limit at 30, and I wanted to be sure that I was still able to match with people. So she lied about that. For the first few months that we were seeing each other, like casually, she would get horribly drunk off of Canadian Club whiskey and would stay up until the early hours of the morning. We'd be hanging out. I would get up and go to work at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, but she would sleep until about 1 p.m. because she was technically self-employed. Speaking of being self-employed, she was also committing various types of fraud because she forged a bunch of documents and created 2 fake businesses so that she could contact like wholesalers and buy things wholesale and then repackage them and sell them on Amazon under a fake business. And at the time I was like, that's kind of creative. That's a little crafty. Like, I love it. We're very anti-establishment. Like, that's all good and well. But then things started getting tricky with taxes. Oh, hey, baby. One night when we were hanging out, she got really drunk and was like, man, I really love being with you as opposed to my ex. I mean, even though my ex was mega hot, she didn't really have like much personality. Like, she was kind of flighty and annoying. And I was like, oh, okay. Speaking of her ex, she got a happy birthday text from her ex, and this was about 8 months into us seeing each other, 2 months into moving in together. Her ex texted her happy birthday, and I had her phone because I was taking pictures of her with it, and I saw the text come through, and it turns out my ex had responded to her and said, thank you, insert pet name that she called her ex while they were together. She was in a band, and she said that being flirty with girls was part of being in a band and that it wasn't that serious and that she might have to do that from time to time, but that I shouldn't be concerned about it because that's just what it means to be a rock star. She like never brushed her teeth in the morning. She thought it was annoying and didn't want to do it, and so yeah. When we were planning on having a baby, because we got married and planned on having a baby because I'm stupid, she said that she was worried about the sperm donor that we were going to pick for our baby because I had a weak jaw and she didn't want the sperm donor to also have that issue since I was going to be the one carrying, so we needed to make sure that we found someone with, enough bone structure. She was a sports fan, and she would get embarrassingly upset when her team would lose. The team was the Cowboys, and from what I understand, they kind of suck anyway. And yeah, she would be like screaming, like laying against the wall, like it would dictate her mood for like the rest of the day or possibly the week. I took her on a trip to Atlanta for her birthday to see a celebrity that she really liked, and we forgot to make reservations for dinner on this busy weekend in Atlanta. So everywhere was really full, places were closing, like we couldn't get in. So we go up to this one bar that is very obviously closing down, and she walks in and asks and says, hey, is you guys' kitchen open? Are you guys still open? And they said, no, it's not. We're literally closing in a few minutes. And she said, I don't care, and sat down. And I tried to convince her to leave, and she said, no, I'm done looking for places. We're gonna sit here and they're gonna figure it out. And then she proceeded to start eating other people's leftovers, like people who had been at the bar top and had like apps. It was like mixed nuts and like things like that. She started eating people's food that they had left at the bar and then yelled at me in the car because she was so upset. She got really into sports betting when that became a thing and like the apps were super accessible, so she was addicted to sports betting. And one night she lost $15,000 gambling. And this was the night before one of our appointments at the fertility clinic because we were trying to have a baby. I basically got catfished by an Airbnb. Like, I booked us a trip to the beach, and this Airbnb looked really nice for the price. It turns out the photos were just really old, and this place was like really shitty, and I felt terrible. She was trying to get like her sports on the TV, but she couldn't get the Wi-Fi to work. Like, admittedly, it sucked. Like, it was really disappointing, and I felt bad. But I had her phone trying to set up the Wi-Fi for her because she was throwing a baby fit about how she couldn't get it to work. So I was being the Gen Z and like setting up her phone. And I saw a text from her sister come through that was a little sus. And so I look, she had texted her sister about how god awful it was and how she's like so disappointed for the whole weekend. Like, it was ruined and she can't even get sports on the TV, and that it just sucks so bad and she can't believe that I messed up like that. And then last but not least, if you came from the series before, she tried to cheat on me with my friend, who's also my hairstylist, unsuccessfully the first time, and then proceeded to say she wanted an open relationship. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. But then I agreed to let her date other people for a bit and like move out to see if that's really what she wanted. But I said, please just don't date my friends. And she said, oh God, no, of course not. And then I found out she was dating my friend, and they were both lying about it to me for like 3 months. And then I thought that was the end of it. And then I found out that they had been seeing each other even before that. Meanwhile, the whole time, my ex-wife is still telling me that she's in love with me and that she thinks my friend is ugly and not as interesting or attractive as I am, and that she was just doing it because she's an addict and she's going through a midlife crisis. But they are still together to this day, 3 years later. So, ta-da!
It's been about over a week since I found out that my ex was cheating on me, and here's what I've learned. Even when they share their location with you, even when you spend all your free time together, even when things seem perfect, we never fought, we didn't argue, we had a great time. And even when you think that you have like full sight of everything, if someone wants to cheat on you, they absolutely will. And they'll find ways to sneak in between the little cracks. All the times he cheated on me were in 15 to 30 minute intervals when I was either working or when he was leaving my house and I wasn't really paying attention because he was texting me the whole time. So even if you think you have control over the full, oh, we're together all the time, there's no room. And this just like, and it wasn't even like social media cheating. It was like legit physical sexual cheating. The other thing I learned is that the only dates that matter in our relationship are the dates that he cheated on me, because everything else feels like a lie. I'm looking at pictures and I'm like, wow, after this, he cheated on me. Like, after this event that we did, he cheated on me. The night that I made his entire family dinner, like the very next day, he cheated on me. So no matter how good you are to someone, no matter how pure you show up, if someone doesn't want to take you seriously, or if someone just wants to do what they want to do, they will. Like, I'm still so surprised. I never saw this coming. I dated someone who's like a little dorky, and he plays poker with his friends every Monday, and he would tell me like, I don't get hit on that much. He's like, kind of shy, and he's a fucking Eagle Scout. I don't know. Like, every single year I find myself in a position to like dislike men even more, even when I think I'm like ready to try. I'm just, what's a girl to do? But to stay inside, run and duck for cover.
If you're ever curious what it's like to date in today's day and age, I want you to reference back to the story that I'm about to tell you. I was seeing this man who I was pretty infatuated with. I'm not gonna lie. We had gone on a good number of dates and the feelings were growing and they were very mutual, or so that I thought, okay? And until this moment, I thought that this was about to be my man. I had met some of the people in this man's family. We'd spent time with them. We were very much in alignment. Like, he checked off all the boxes for me. Like, this was going in the right direction. Until one night we had gone on a date, and after the date was over, we ended up going back to his place. And at this point, I can't remember if I had already started sleeping with this man or not, but I'm pretty sure that this was the first time that we had slept together. And it was great, no complaints. We're laying in bed after the deed was done, and we started to like get dressed. I was like, oh, I have to work in the morning. I can't stay the night. I don't do sleepovers usually, by the way. But I'm looking for my clothes, and it's dark in the room, and he's like getting up and, you know, trying to get dressed, and I'm doing the same. I was like, hey, can you throw me my pants? And he was like, yeah, no problem. So he's like looking around to grab like the rest of my clothes, to toss the clothes on the bed to me. And he throws over my underwear, and he turns the light on, and I'm like, are you sleeping with someone else? And he was like, no. Why would you think that? Like, we've been seeing each other pretty consistently. Why would you assume I'm sleeping with someone else? I said, because you just threw someone else's underwear at me. Like, those aren't mine. And he was like, stop playing. Those are definitely yours. They have to be yours. I'm not sleeping with anybody else. And I was like, those aren't mine, because guess what? I didn't wear underwear tonight. Which is not that uncommon, by the way. I don't know if that's crazy for me to say out loud, but whatever I was wearing didn't require me to wear underwear. So he threw a pair of panties at me that were not mine. I looked at him. He looks at me. This is where I get up and leave. This is where I exit stage left. He then tried to obviously talk his way out of it. And now that I think about it, we had already slept together at this point, because he was like, oh, they're probably yours from like another time. I'm like, how are you gonna tell me that those are my underwear? I've never seen those in my entire life. Those are not my underwear. You wanna know why I know they're not my underwear? Because I told you I don't wear underwear. They're not mine. There was a split second where I was like, maybe you should give this man the benefit of the doubt, Aubrey. Maybe these underwear are old. And I'm so glad that I didn't, and I trusted my gut, because guess who popped out with a whole ass baby very shortly after that situation happened? Has anyone else caught up their person or been caught up themselves because of an article of clothing in their bedroom and or house? I would love to know if I'm not the only one. I think back to so many times in my 20s where I ignored that gut feeling. I ignored my intuition, and every single time it bit me in the ass. So if you're watching this and you're a woman, your intuition, that gut feeling, it's a superpower. Follow it every single time.